Nice. And are you enjoying it?
Yes, more or less.
Okay. Cool.
It's not bad.
Um, and who else do we have? Simone, how's it going?
Uh, I'm not very well today because I had this email from Verblin telling
Yeah.
me that uh, I'm so sad. Uh,
Yeah, you and me both.
I really don't know what to say and what to do now, really.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty disappointed. I don't really know. But
Is that
yeah.
true, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like everybody's kind of gotten the email except for me and Dana Carolina. Um, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. So I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
me too, Anna Caroline, I hope. Let's see.
yeah. And Ezekiel, how's it going?
Okay, thank you. How about you?
Doing pretty well, thanks. And yeah, Ezekiel, what have you been up to today?
I have been working all the morning long. This evening I have to continue working.
Okay, so working all morning, just gonna keep working this evening.
Okay.
And what do you do for work, Ezekiel?
I work as an statistician.
Okay, nice. All right, yeah. Well, welcome to class. And Amp, how's it going?
Thank you.
Amp, how's it going? Hmm. Can't hear you. Yeah, so maybe just leave and come back. It might help. Generally helps. Um, yeah. I'm not sure that, like, how many people can you get in a tandem lesson? Just wondering. Does anybody know?
What do you mean?
Just two. The tandem lessons, I wasn't sure how many people you could get in them. Um, just everybody kind of
Maybe,
different.
maybe a solution.
At first, I thought it only two, but 3 or 4. So I was disappointed. I don't want to take lesson now. 4 members, even though I need to pay that for tutoring lesson.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've never taken the tendering, only private lesson.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's a way to like limit it. What's up, Simone?
Paying dollars, it's really expensive for us
Yeah.
Brazilians.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see what we can do. Yeah, it's not good. But I guess let's get started with the story.
Can you hear me now?
Pug. Yeah, I can hear you, Amp. How's it going?
Okay. Doing well. What about you?
All right. Doing all right. Yeah, just bad news, I guess, for today. But
Yeah.
yeah, what are you gonna do, I guess? All right. Well, let's have Heidi. Can you read the title in the first paragraph?
Oh. The answer is no. The important piece of news that the new headmaster had arrived to spread through the school. She heard of it in the women teachers' common room as she was casting a final glance at the day's lessons. There was no getting away from joining the other teachers in congratulating him, and from shaking him by the hand too. A shudder passed through her body, but it was unavoidable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good. Unavoidable.
Unavoidable.
Okay, that sounded good. And any questions in that first little paragraph? Okay. Um,
I had a question about, I don't know, it's a spread through.
okay, spread through the school.
Is phrasal verb arrive spread through or
Yeah, so it's like to move around to,
okay.
yeah, so the news kind of spreads. Do you know the verb to spread?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then throughout or through. So, I mean, it would be a phrasal verb, but doesn't really change the meaning.
Okay, but for me arrive doesn't fit
Okay,
for me.
so that the new headmaster had arrived, so the news spread
Okay.
through the school. So the news that the new headmaster arrived spread through the school. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank
Um,
you. Okay.
all right, and Nan, welcome to class. Nan, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Nice, good to hear. And Nan, I don't think I've had you in class before. Where are you from?
I'm from China.
Okay, nice. Well, welcome to class. It's good to have you. And where are we? Let's have Juditha. Can you read the next part, I guess?
What part? They speak.
So, they speak.
They speak highly of his abilities, said a colleague of hers, and they talk too, and his thickness, of his thickness. It has always been a possibility that might occur, and now it had. Her pretty face paled, and a staring look came to her wide black eyes. When the time came, the teachers went in single file, decorously attired, to his open room. He stood behind his desk as he received the men and women.
Okay. Really nice job. Strictness.
Strictness.
Okay. And yeah, decorously attired. That was good. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. And Ezekiel, can you read the next part?
He was of medium height with a tendency to orderliness and had a spherical face, hooked nose, and bulging eyes. The first thing that could be seen of him was a thick, puffed-up moustache, arched like a foam-laden wave. She as one with her eyes fixed on his chest. Avoiding his gaze, she stretched out her hand. What was she to say? Just what the other had said. However, she kept silent, uttered not a word.
Okay. Let's look at bulging.
Bulging.
Mustache.
Mustache.
And uttered.
Uttered.
Nice, well done. And portliness. Does anybody know what portliness means?
Fatty.
Yeah, fatness. Like, so if you're portly, you're kind of chubby or fat. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have, where were we? Anna Carolina, can you read? Wow. Where did we go? The next part?
From
What?
okay. What she wondered, did his eyes express his rough, his rough hands shook hers, and he said in a gruff voice, "Thanks." She turned elegantly and moved off.
And keep going.
She forgot her worries through her daily tasks, though she did not look in good shape. Several of the girls remarked, "Mrs. in a bad mood," when she returned to her home at the beginning of the Pyramids Road. She changed her clothes and sat down to eat with her mother. "Everything all right?" inquired her mother, looking in her face.
Looking her in the face.
Looking her in the face.
Pyramids.
Pyramids.
She turned elegantly.
She turned elegantly.
She said in a gruff voice.
He said in a gruff voice. What does gruff mean?
Gruff is like deep. So like thanks would be
Okay.
gruff.
Gruff.
Is rough? Rough?
Rough.
All right, nice. And questions here. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. And let's have where are we? Amp. Amp, can you read the next part?
Okay. Badran Badawi, she said briefly. Do you remember him? He's been appointed our headmaster. Really? Then, after a moment of silence, she said, "It's of no importance at all. It's an old and long-forgotten story." After eating, she took herself off to her study to rest for a while before correcting some exercise books. She had forgotten him completely. No, not completely. How could he be forgotten completely? When he had first come to give her a private lesson in mathematics, she was 14 years of age.
Good. Okay. That sounded good. Any other questions? And let's have none. Can you read the next part?
Okay. In fact, not quite 14. He had been 25 years older, the same age as her father. She had said to her mother, "His appearance is a mess, but he explained things well." And her mother had said, "We are not concerned with what he looks like. What's important is how he explains things."
Okay. What's important is how he explains things. Can you repeat that?
What's important is how he explains things.
Good. And can you read the next little part too?
Okay. He was an amusing person, and she got on well with him, and benefited from his knowledge. How, then, had it happened? In her innocence, she had not noticed any change in his behavior to her on her guard.
To put her on her guard.
To put her on her guard.
Good. And change.
Change.
Change. Good. Okay, any questions? Okay, maybe who can explain what's happened so far? Anybody? Nobody can explain what's happened so far?
Sorry, I'm not really concentrated today.
Yeah, me too.
Uh, okay.
I can make an attempt.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Go ahead.
I think there is a school or a high school. A new headmaster have arrived, and one of the teacher has know him because when she was 14, she received private lesson from him. Something strange is going to happen. I'm not sure about what, but something related with, I don't know, I don't know, harassment or something like that. I'm not sure.
Harshment? I'm not sure what you mean by harshment.
Yeah, like a sexual assault or something related with that.
Yeah.
I think he meant harassment.
Yeah, harassment. Can you repeat that, Ezekiel? Harassment?
Harassment.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty much perfect. Really well done. And then let's have Simone. Welcome back. Simone, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read this next part?
Okay, then one day he had been left on his own with her, her father having gone to her aunt's clinic. She had not the slightest doubts about a man she regarded as a second father. How then that it happened? Without love or desire on her part, the thing had happened. She had asked in terror about what had occurred, and he had told her, "Don't be frightened or sad. Keep it to yourself, and I will come and propose to you the day you come of age."
Nice. Okay. That sounded good. And I guess what's happened here in this paragraph? Okay, so that when he was tutoring her, I think, yeah, we get the idea that she was molested by the man, and then he said, don't be frightened or sad. When you come of age, I will come and propose marriage to you. So he wanted to marry her when she was old enough. So she was still really young, obviously, 14. And Mina, can you read the next part?
And he had kept his promise and had come to ask for her hand. By then she had attained a degree of maturity that gave her an understanding of the dimensions of her tragic position. She had found that she had no love or respect for him, and that he had, as far as he could be from her dreams and from the ideas she had formed of what constituted an ideal and moral person. But what was to be done? Her father had passed away 2 years ago, and her mother had been taken aback by the forwardness of the man.
Nice. Okay. One thing we're looking at is dimensions. Dimensions. And then maturity.
Maturity.
Yeah. Okay. He kept his promise. Maturity. I gave an understanding. Okay. And okay. So questions here. Does anybody have any questions?
Aback?
Taken aback. So it's when you're not only like surprised by something, but like you're kind of offended by it too. So you're taken aback. You're shocked about it. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have Jose.
Yes.
Can you read the next part?
Okay. However, she had said to her, I honor your attachment to your personal independence, so I leave the decision to you. She had been conscious of the critical position she was in. She had either to accept or to close the door forever. It was the sort of situation that could force her into something she detested. She was the rich beautiful girl, a byword in Abaya for her nobility of character. And now here she was struggling helplessly in a well-sprung trap, while he looked down at her with rapacious eyes.
Okay. Rapacious.
Rapacious, rapacious, rapacious,
And helplessly.
helplessly,
Okay.
helplessly. Okay.
Really good. And questions here.
A bunch. A bunch. Um, what does bywords mean? Well-sprung, trap, and rapacious.
Okay. A byword is like another name for something. So it's like a synonym almost. It's a word that you use in place of something else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
For instance, my nickname can be a byword for my name.
Yeah. Yeah. We would probably still use nickname just for that, but that's pretty much that. That's exactly it. Rapacious is like really hungry, like in a greedy sort of way. I think it comes from the idea of like a raptor is like a bird of prey. So kind of the same roots. We're getting like rapacious, raptor. Yeah, so just like really hungry in a greedy sort of way would be rapacious. And what was the other word that you had a question about?
Well-sprung trap.
Okay, a well-sprung trap. So I mean, a trap. Do you know what a trap is?
Yes, what the hunters put on the forest to get the animals.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that would be a trap. What's going on here is that, I think we're somewhere in India, or in Africa, and the idea of, being a virgin to be married, is really important. She had to accept this marriage or close the door forever and not be married. At least is what she feels like here. Yeah. And that's like the trap that he sprung. So because he's already molested her, she's like kind of unfit for marriage in wherever she is, which I'm not really sure. So, any questions here? Any other questions? Okay. Let's have. I think we're with Heidi. Can you read the next part?
Just as she had hated his strength, so too she hated her own weakness. To have abused her innocence was one thing, but for him to have the upper hand, now what she was free in possession of her faculties, was something else. He had said, so here I am, making good my promise because I love you. He had also said, I know of your love of teaching, and you will complete your student at the College of Science. She had felt such anger as she had never felt before.
Okay. Now, sorry?
You studied. I read student, I think.
Yeah, your studies.
Yeah.
Good correction. Then her faculties?
Facultiness, I thought at first.
Okay, yeah, no, just faculties.
At
And
first,
then
I read it wrote facultiness.
facultiness. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't exactly remember what you said either, but yeah, those are just faculties. It's like your kind of ability to think and consider things. Now that, yeah, and so then just, I think you said now here, or something else. So now that she was in full possession, can you repeat that?
Now that she was free in both position.
Yeah, now that she was fully in possession.
No, she was free in possession.
Good. And let's have Julieta. Can you read the next part?
She had rejected the coercion in the same way as she rejected ugliness. It had meant little to her to sacrifice marriage. She had welcomed being on her own, for solitude accompanied by self-respect was not loneliness. She had also guessed he was after her money. She had told her mother quite straightforwardly no, to which her mother had replied, I am astonished you did not make this decision from the first moment.
Nice. Let's look at accompanied.
Accompanied.
And then coercion.
Coercion.
Yeah, coercion. And any questions here?
I didn't understand the second sentence.
So it had meant little to her to sacrifice marriage.
No,
again?
the other one. Sorry.
The third sentence?
The third. Yeah, the
Okay.
third. No.
So she had welcomed being on her own. Like, this idea of being alone in life was okay with her, because if you're being alone with your self-respect, it's not loneliness. So, like, as long as you respect yourself, if you're alone, yeah, it's not like loneliness in itself. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And any other questions here?
And to be after the money.
And what was that?
To be after her money.
To be after her money. So because she's a rich girl, yeah, so the tutor, the guy who was tutoring her, who's now the headmaster, was kind of after her money, also because she was beautiful and young. But yeah, she was rich, so
Okay.
he wanted part of the money that she had. Okay, any other questions? Okay. And Ezekiel, can you read the next part?
Okay. The man had blocked her way outside and said, "How can you refuse? Don't you realize the outcome?" And she had replied with an asperity he had not expected. "For me, any outcome is preferable to being married to you." After finishing her studies, she had wanted something to do to fill her spare time, so she had worked as a teacher. Chance to marry come time, but she had turned her back on them all.
That sounds a little bit strange. Chances to marry had come time, but she had turned her back on them all. I don't know if I copied that wrong. I had come time. Hold on 1 second, sorry. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's just a way of speaking wherever this was written. Can you repeat chances to marry?
Chances to marry.
And then can you just read the last little part here?
Does no one please you? Her mother asked her. I know what I'm doing, she had said gently.
Good. And we're with Ana Carolina. Ana Carolina, can you read the next part?
If from
The time is going by.
but time is going by. Let it go as it pleases. I'm content. Day by day she becomes older. She avoids love, fears it. With all her strength she hopes that life will pass calmly, peacefully, rather than happily. She goes on persuading herself that happiness is not confined to love and motherhood. Never has she regretted her firm decision. Who knows what tomorrow holds?
Nice. The morrow is a way of saying tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So instead of saying the morrow, we can say tomorrow. It's just kind of an old way of doing things. And persuading.
Persuading.
Yeah, persuading. And then calmly.
Calmly.
Yeah, calmly.
Calmly.
Yeah, it's like almost got like a weird little L sound. Calmly. Calmly. But good. Yeah, it sounded great. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. Amp, can you read the rest of the story?
But she was certainly unhappy that he could again make his appearance in her life, that she would be dealing with him day after day, and that he would make of the past a living and painful present. Then, the first time he was alone with her in his room, he asked her, "How are you?" She answered coldly, "I'm fine." He hesitated slightly before inquiring, "Have you not, did you get married?" In the tone of someone intent of cutting short a conversation, she said, "I told you, I'm fine."
Okay. So intend on cutting short a conversation. Good. It sounded good. Any questions here? Okay, so I guess what's happened in the story, does anybody have any ideas? I know his concentration maybe is not the best, but any questions or ideas? Any comments, thoughts? What happened in the story? Can anybody explain it?
Well, this guy proposed her, but she said no.
Huh?
And then I don't know. Then really
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so he proposed to her, she said no. What happened before the proposal?
Before?
Yeah, before he proposed to her.
it seems that she is in the same school, and he is the headmaster, and she is not happy with that um, because when she was a kid, he how can I say that? Kind of abused her.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
But
And
he wants to marry her anyway.
a few years later, yeah. And she was old enough to marry. So, yeah, exactly. So he abused her and then said he'd marry her after. Why didn't she get married again? And like, why did he think he would be able to marry her? Or she would want to marry him? Any ideas? Not again. Okay. So I guess this is just the culture. The idea of like being pure as a wife, where she is, she feels like she can't get married because she's lost like this idea of purity or whatever. Yeah. And so she feels like she can't get married again, and that's why he thought that she would definitely marry him, was because he was like her only chance for being married. And yeah, and that's it. Anyway, so this is about the end of the story. We can start another story. There's different one. Does anybody have any questions or comments here before we go into the other story? Okay. Hold on one sec. And here we go. Okay, and let's have, where were we? I think Amp finished, so let's have Nan. Can you read the title and the first few lines?
Okay, the pose. Yeah, yet better. God knows what got into her head. She abruptly broke her stride and slipped into Shadow Clothes store. Then she opened the door of the show window and deftly removing the lovely mannequin, stood herself in the plastic dummy's place and assumed its pose. It was an evening. The street was packed with people, but they were so preoccupied as they went their way that none of them noticed what she had just done.
Okay, let's look at preoccupied.
Preoccupied.
Yeah. And okay, I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. And so what's happening in this first part? Okay, so she replaces herself with a mannequin, or she replaces the mannequin with herself. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's have Jose. Can you read the next part?
Okay. Why did she do it? She probably didn't know that herself. True, she was something of a daredevil in her childhood, but now she was a grown young woman, a college student, smart, sophisticated, urban. Even the most daring boys at the college got cold feet walking with her. What she'd just done? Well, it just happened. It was entirely unpremeditated. Standing in the show window, she felt a strange sense of comfort wash over her. She was now, after all, a part of this bustling marketplace.
Okay, good. And let's look at college.
College. A college. College.
Urbane.
Urbane.
And entirely.
Entirely.
Yeah. And unpremeditated.
Unpremeditated.
Good. Okay. And questions here. Okay. No questions? What about bustling? What does bustling mean?
Bustling.
Busy?
Yeah, busy. Good. Thanks, guys, both of you. What about urbane? Does anybody know what urbane means?
Oh, city?
Yeah, so like having like the smooth kind of personality that's kind of associated with being from a city. Yeah. Elegant, maybe. Would be another synonym for it. Good. And right, where are we? I think Heidi. Can you read? Sorry. Can the next part?
Juliet want to say something.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry. It was cold feet.
It was cold feet?
Yeah.
They felt like uncomfortable, or they felt, you know, they weren't very smooth. They got cold feet. So if it's often used for like weddings. So before somebody gets married, they get cold feet. Like they don't go to the altar. So yeah, she makes boys nervous. Okay. And yeah, Heidi, can you read the next part?
She could also look closely at the place, the whole of it standing in just one spot without having to move, walking as one of the crowd while shopping. She never felt herself a part of the life around her, the buoyant, strident life, full of vigor and excitement. Her tense body gradually became unstrung, and an unprovoked smile came to her lips. She quite liked it, standing with one foot slightly forward, the hem of her sari going over her head and then dropping down to wrap itself around the joint of her right elbow.
Okay. Yeah, that sounded really good. Yeah, questions here. Yeah, who knows what a sari is?
Sari is like clothes Indian women wear, no?
Yeah, so it's a type of clothing that Indian women wear. Would be a sari.
Like a sarong?
I think so. I'm not super sure about it, but I do know it's yeah, kind of like something that you wear draped over your shoulder, I guess. You kind of wrap it around your body and then drape it over your shoulder. Be a sari. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have Julieta, can you read the next part?
She looked positively ravishing. She could stand in her new posture forever, she thought, overcome by a sudden impulse, although her knees had already begun to ache from the pressure. She was just considering easing up on her heels a bit when her eyes caught sight of a peasant who suddenly cut through the crowd on the sidewalk and came over to the show window and began gawking at her with eyes at once full of lust and wonder. His eyes seemed to say, "Incredible! These craftsmen can be so skillful. How they make statues that look like real people."
Yeah, gawking.
Gawking.
Good.
Is it like
Any,
staring? Is it like
yeah, it's like gaping.
gaping?
If we're coming back to the seeing. It has like a weird connotation with birds, at least in my mind. I don't know, just like the like kind of wide-eyed, just like unbelieving stare. Yeah, gaping, gawking, pretty much the same thing. Any other questions?
I have one question, but why she was doing that in the show window? I missed that.
So it actually doesn't explain it. It was unpremeditated, so she didn't think about doing it
because.
before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just done it. Just happened.
Being.
Yeah, and then she got in there and then she started to like enjoy it. Okay, and let's have Ezekiel. Can you read the next part?
Okay. It was good the glass panels stood between them, otherwise the country bumpkin would certainly have ventured to touch her. The peasant perhaps wanted to linger on for a while, but the scouring glances of the passer-by forced him to move on. As soon as he had moved away, she relaxed her feet a little, even shocked them a bit. But now her lips began to feel dry. "Just a little while longer," she told her lips under her breath, "and then I'll take you to a restaurant and treat you to a glass of ice water, followed by a steamed cup of some finely brewed tea."
Okay. Be careful with your ed endings. This last one, I guess, is brewed.
Brewed.
Steaming.
Steaming.
Followed. And passersby.
Passersby.
Passersby. And then the peasant. Good. And does anybody have any questions here?
Pumpkin.
A pumpkin is just like an uneducated, kind of goofy person. Yeah, just an uneducated person, I guess we could say. A very simple person. Yeah, so a pumpkin is somebody who's really simple. Linger. If you're lingering, you're like sticking around. So yeah, you linger, you stay around. Oftentimes it's like when you're not wanted. You linger when you're not wanted. And then scoring is like really harsh glances. Not very nice. So you'd like score a pot if it's got grease on it. You kind of like score it. It's like you scrub it really hard and harshly. And that's kind of where that comes from. Any other questions? Um, and then where were we? Sorry, who just read? That
Okay.
was Ezekiel. Anna Carolina, can you read the next part?
From where?
Her thirst.
Her thirst let up a bit and she slipped back into her former pose. She certainly had no wish to exhibit herself like this to the pedestrians. Perhaps the thought had never even entered her mind. Rather, it pleased her to think that she was now a full pleased she was now a full participant in the teeming life around her. It was a strange feeling. She had never experienced it before. Oh God! The expression came from the lips of two college girls. How lifelike! Their voices, traveling along the glass panels and filtering through the holes in the steel strips holding the frame, came upon her softly, as if from a great distance.
Okay, good. A full participant.
A full participant. Joshua. No. Joshua. Guys.
Hello, Anna.
Hello. We have to do something.
Yes, I think it's unfair.
I can't accept it. What are we going to do now?
I don't know.
I don't know what
I don't
we are going to
understand.
do.
Well, we can try just sending our complaint about the decision.
Yes, I agree.
I wrote 4 emails so far.
Yes, they've answered that, some mail or no?
No,
No.
not yet. And I didn't receive any mail from them. Just people on my Google community, they were sending me messages. Oh no, Anna, do you know what's going on? It's too bad. We have to do something. Everyone seems to be sad about that decision.
Just wait here.
Hey, Joshua.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Right. Well, let's just finish up the pronunciation that Anna Carolina was on. Hold on one second. And Anna Carolina, can you repeat participant? Participant?
Okay. Participant.
And it pleased her.
And please her.
Good.
I cannot see the screen, teacher. It's black.
Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna end class pretty soon anyways. Yeah, so I guess if you guys want, I'll probably be putting more classes in the afternoon. So I'll be having probably more classes for the next month every day.
Joshua, please help us.
Oh yeah, no, I wish. It's definitely not good news for me either. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Probably try to, yeah, I know. But yeah.
Send them an email.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what I can do. I don't think I really have much pull, but we'll see what I can do. But yeah, thanks again for coming into class, guys.
I can
It was really
Okay.
I
good to see you.
cannot survive without your classes, Josh. I told you that once.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, but I don't know what to do. We've got a month to figure it out, so. But yeah, thanks for coming.